the way that IBM's involved in blockchain really are in these three different slices. From a technology point of view, late in 2015, IBM were a founder member of the Linux Technology, the Linux Foundation Hyperledger project. And most of our work's been to contribute to the Hyperledger Fabric sub-project within there. But effectively, we saw this as being the most effective way of growing blockchain for business. And since then, we've also been working on a Fabric Composer. And again, I'll come and mention that in a little bit more detail later, but that's effectively a way of increasing time to value, shortening or speeding up time to value on customer projects by allowing us to work at a higher level of abstraction than writing the raw chain code that renders a smart contract. While we've been actually taking an active role in this technology development, we've also been taking the technology that comes out of things like the Hyperledger project and hosting it on a number of different types of business network. We're hosting it on this high security business network for customers who want to find a fast way of taking this into production with the surety and security to do that. We're also hosting it on our IBM Bluemix network, so this allows customers to do experimentation very quickly and efficiently, as is the containerization of the blockchain fabric, which again supports rapid experimentation with blockchain. So effectively, we support the whole spectrum from early experimentation, low friction experimentation, all the way through production usage of the blockchain technology. And we're also working to make blockchain real for our customers. And the concept here is to come up with some quite straightforward, obvious processes to allow customers to work with us to really find out which parts of their business could be transformed using blockchain, and then work with us to effectively implement those improvements. So looking a little bit more detail at the Linux Foundation Hyperledger project, this is effectively a collaborative effort across multiple players in multiple industries to render a blockchain fabric for business. It started in December 2015 with a handful of founder members, and now it's one of the fastest growing, or the fastest growing Linux Foundation project, with now over 120 members, and I'll come and show you who they are in a couple of slides' time. Effectively, the reason we were so keen on it is this concept of bringing the three open words together. Open governance, which means that all the members of the network decide on the direction of that the blockchain fabric is taking. So it's not locked or directed by any particular industry or member. This is through common consensus through all the different members. The blockchain fabric that's produced is open source, but more importantly, we use open standards. So we actually see interoperability between blockchains in the fullness of time being really important, hence our focus on open standards on the way through this. We're focusing in on the Fabric project. That's the one that's effectively rendering this, if you like, middleware for blockchain for customers, blockchain for business. There are other incubators as part of the Linux Foundation Hyperledger umbrella, but our main interest is in the Fabric project, and we're a premier member of the project. Interestingly, out of the three key players in blockchain, Chris Ferris, our colleague from IBM, is the only IBMer. He's the chair of the technical steering committee. Clearly, Brian and Blythe are not IBMers, and really that's an illustration of this open governance at the very top level of the project. These are the current set of members of the Hyperledger project. We update this slide very often because the members grow quite quickly. Some really interesting ones. Again, you'd expect to see financial organizations in here, but to see organizations like Airbus, organizations like Daimler, and other technology companies like Fujitsu and Hitachi, other services companies like Accenture, all of these really, I think it really shows that we've got a true cross-industry governance of the fabric as it moves forward. Number of other general members, a number of other associated members, again, reinforcing this concept of actually having a very, very, very broad participation of in this open governance process.